Okay, so the application is pretty simple and straightforward. And so here I'll just go over the features as explained in the coursework specification. So I'm calling it Hikes Hero, and it's got so the first time it runs, or the moment it runs, it creates a database. If the database doesn't exist, and then launches on the home page, which has these four main buttons. So the most important thing is to be able to record hikes. So you have a button to add hike. So when we click on it, it allows you to insert information relating to hikes. So we'll just go over inserting one hike just as a quick example. So we'll say this is I think I've used Kafue a lot. So maybe we'll say Zambezi Run, the name of the hike. And then it will be, let's say, in Livingstone. And then the date picker, so that it prevents people from typing in physically because of possible errors. And then is the area going to offer parking or not? And then how long is the hike? Let's say 10 kilometers. And then we have some description. Okay, well, actually we have first of all a drop down, how difficult the hike is, and then an optional description. So maybe we could say running besides the Zambezi River. Okay, and then the dominant scenery, what are you looking at? So we could say the Zambezi River, okay? So that's the point. So when we save this, in fact, we can even pick the season here, spring, autumn, winter. So I'll say all seasons. So when it's good for running. So when we save this, it creates a record. And then when we have it, we can go and view all the hikes. So under view hikes, you see the different ones that you've written. So this one, I had inserted it before, and then this one is here now. So this one lists all of the hikes that are there, and then you can edit them, you can delete them. So I'll get rid of the Kafue run as an example. Anytime you want to delete something, there's going to be a confirmation because of course you're modifying the DB, and then the data won't be recovered, so you need to make sure that it's actually fine. It can be edited, all right? And even though you're viewing it here, when you click view, it shows you the more detailed version. And then with the more detailed version, you can see if there are any observations, and then you can edit or delete it still, the same buttons. So we'll go on observations, and then you'll see that this one doesn't have any observations. So click on add observation, and then here we can say maybe, so a hippo, and then we can add some comments. Hippo was chasing me. Okay, and then we can save this observation. Okay, so observations also, they work almost like hikes in the sense that they can also be edited, they can also be deleted. So it's the same idea. So if I click there, you can see I can come and then make changes and then click update. So it's the same idea. Or if I want to delete the observation, I can press and try to delete, but I won't delete them, so that we have some example. Okay, so generally that's how this one works. Let me add maybe one more, but I think generally it's fine. We'll just go back home, and then we can go to search. So this one, for view all hikes, it just brings a whole list of them. But when we say search hikes, this one, um, it doesn't it filters the ones that you've searched based off of the name of the hike, I think, or the location. All right. So in this case, for the one that we currently have, I think is Zambezi. So if I search Zam, it should still be able to pick up. So you can see that it's found one hike starting with Zam because of Zambezi run. And then I can still open it. So this one is useful, especially if there are lots of hikes. So what was required was to be able to add the hike and then create the CRUD functions, creating the hike, reading the hike, which is viewing the hike, updating the hike, which is editing the hike, and deleting the hike, which is getting rid of the hike. So all the four CRUD methods were added. Then the next was to also be able to add observations, and for each observation be able to have the CRUD methods. So create the observation, read or view the observation, edit or update the observation, as well as delete or get rid of the observation. So again, all the CRUD methods were added on both the hikes and the observations. Then the requirement for having them be able to search, so that was added here so that it filters based off of that. They said that you can then add anything additional to that, which is up to you. So I just created a settings and reset page. So inside here, first of all, we have an about page. So this about page just gives some information, right? Just describing the application. And then, so here it was free for all for you to choose what you want to do. Exporting the data, so the hikes and observations that are saved in the DB, when you click this button, it saves them to the documents folder in a CSV format. And then you can delete all of the hikes and reset the database, which is so that if you want to restart or get rid of everything, you can just wipe the DB and start from scratch. So I thought that those were some neat additions, just 3 of them, but they said you could do anything. So that's what we went for. Okay, so now I'll switch over to the Windows one. So the one with C# and MAUI UI. So let me pause this and open the Visual Studio project. Okay, so over on the MAUI UI C# version, so we have this here. So the goal was to try and create as many features from the Android one into this one, and that was largely done. So the first thing is pretty much it's working pretty much the same way. So we can add a new hike, you insert the information. All right, so enter hike name Zambezi Run in Livingstone. Okay, available parking, yes. It's 10 kilometers. It's easy. Running alone is my description. The Zambezi River is the main scenery. And then on all seasons. So we'll save. And when it's saved, we can go and view the hikes. And then you can see same thing. But the MAUI UI gives a slightly different way of presenting it. Okay, so you can edit, you can delete, so the same CRUD functionalities. If you want to add observations, you need to still go inside each one, and then you can go to the observations page, and then within the observation, you can then create your own observation. So we'll say hippo, and then we'll say chasing me. Okay, so then we save, and then that becomes an observation for that hike. Right? You can, of course, edit it. When we click edit, you make changes, or you can delete to get rid of it. So the CRUD functionalities. All right. So that's pretty much it's pretty much identical. So when we go to view all hikes, same thing. And then when we go to search hikes, we can search, let's say, ZAM again. And then let's see, this one actually looks like it's, is it Zambezi Cafe? I think, yeah, this one, it seems like let me just see, think it's checking for an exact match. This is Great Cafe and this is Zambezi Run. Let me see. Great Cafe. Okay, so it found one. Okay, so it opens the page. It's supposed to scroll to the section where you have that result, but the difference, as you've noticed, is it's searching by exact match. In Android, we were able to have the result even just by searching part of the text. So this was one part that was not fully copied over, but like they said, copy as many things as you can, but it needed to be a prototype, and it's more than that. So in that case, that's the idea. Then I didn't copy all of the features for exporting to the CSV or a separate page for the about, um, only the ability to reset the DB. So I left out about two things on the additional part. So this was what was done. So this was the prototype that was created using MAUI UI. So that's the end of the presentation.